guys, I'm Heidi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the Hindsight Is 2020 tag. This was created by Erin Go Reed and I was tagged by Courtney Further. Thank you so much for the tag. And I will link both their channels down below. Question 1. What were you like as an early and learning reader? I was probably quite obsessed. I learned to read at a very early age and I was pretty much reading anything and everything I could get my hands on. Books were always available to me, so I just spent a lot of my time reading. I was definitely the kind of kid who stayed up way past my bedtime just reading. Question 2. What book or book series really got you excited about reading as a kid? One of my absolute favorite authors as a kid was Astrid Lindgren, who was a Swedish children's author. She wrote quite a lot of books, but my favorites were The Children of Noisy Village, Ronia the Robber's Daughter, and the Kalle Blomkvist books. Those books are just so warm, so cozy that I sometimes still reread them to this day. I also really liked the Moomins, and I think anyone who is around my age and living in this part of the world was at one point a big fan of the Moomins. And I also have to mention Krabat by Otfried Preußler. That was one of the first books that gave me the same sort of feeling I get nowadays from grim dark fantasy. This is about a 14-year-old boy who has dreams of a mysterious mill, and once he gets there, he discovers that the mill is run by a sorcerer, and there are 11 boys besides himself, and he becomes the 12th boy, as there has to be 12 boys in order to run the mill. And the boys spend most of the day grinding grain, but then at night the sorcerer teaches them black magic. And the boys are all kind of, well, prisoners in the mill, and Krabat has to figure out how to escape. It's basically a horror story for kids, and I was maybe around 10 or 11 when I first read it, and I was so impressed. I would definitely recommend this for adults as well. It's a very well written children's book. Question 3. Has there been a person in your life, real or fictional, who inspired you to become a reader? Yes, my mom. She was really the person who got me into reading. She was always giving me books for Christmases and for birthdays, and she herself was spending so much time reading. She hasn't changed. We still spend a lot of time just discussing books. Question 4. At what point did you begin to identify as a reader? That is a bit of a difficult question to answer because I didn't properly start reading books in English until I was maybe around 10 or 11. And in Estonian, you can't really say that you're a reader. I mean, you can grammatically, but it would sound a bit wrong. If I think back and try to picture myself as a kid, I never really thought about it like that. Reading books was just something that kind of came naturally to me, and I didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. At what point did I realize that I like to read books? Well, probably when I picked up my first book. So yeah, I mean, I guess the answer is pretty early. Question 5. How has being a reader shaped your life and your worldview? I feel like I have a better understanding of what goes on in the world and of the different experiences that people have. I feel like my vocabulary in any language is definitely a lot richer than it would be if I wasn't reading books. And I guess reading is my #1 hobby, so I can't really imagine myself not reading books. I mean, obviously I can manage for a while without reading anything, but in the long run, I can't really think of a situation where I wouldn't like reading books anymore. And question 6. Tag someone whose reading history you want to learn more about. I'm going to tag Pete Pensive. He is relatively new to BookTube, but his videos are so thoughtful, so good. I would definitely encourage you to check out his channel if you haven't done so already. And I'm also going to tag Katja Weinert. I don't think she's done this tag, so I'd be very interested to hear her thoughts on this. And of course, I'm also tagging everyone who hasn't done this tag already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!